All right, Justin, there she is. Right now she's sending entertainment information to millions of satisfied podcast listeners.
That's pretty impressive.
See, I knew from the moment that I met you that you would appreciate this. The future is now, Justin. Every single American home will be able to live the Summer of Stiller through their television, phone, computer. You'll be able to scuba dive with your fiancé on one podcast, to go to Cabo on another. You could spend a night at the museum, or meet the parents in upstate New York. There's no end to the possibilities. Come on up. What are you waiting for? Alrighty then, let's get started.
The wait is over. The wait is over.
Coming to you on Berlin Time.
It is the Summer of Stiller.
Summer of Stiller.
Summer of Stiller! Summer of Stiller! Summer of Stiller! Summer of Stiller! Gonna be Stiller! Gonna be Stiller! Benjamin Stiller! Benjamin Stiller!
That's good.
I figured I'd just turn it up at the end just to see if I could use any. All right, cut to intro.
Meet the parents.
Yeah, I was like, he was like, how do I signify meet the parents? You know, go to Cabo was a stretch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Night at the museum.
Yeah. I went a little bit Ben Stiller when I said that. I don't know if you noticed that. It was kind of like, night at the museum. You know, it's hard. You know, Stiller slips out. Yeah. But anyway, welcome everybody to episode 2, I believe, of Summer of Stiller, season 5, Summer of Stiller. Guys, I know what you're thinking. It's been like 2 months. Where have you guys been? But where have we been, Justin? I mean, you were really the, you know.
Yeah, it was just all my fault. Unironically. I was in transit. There's a lot of
hiccups.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Hey, it's a movie.
True.
But we're back. That's what's important.
We're back.
And as we said in the teaser and episode and everything, we keep saying Summer of Stiller isn't over until it's over. It does not complete until we complete it. It doesn't matter if it's past American summer, East Berlin summer, you know, you name any summer, we're going to exceed it to completion. So we're back. Hope you guys are happy, and we're going to do so. As our keen listeners will note, episode 2 of Summer of Stiller was the directed by Stiller episode with Cable Guy and Reality Bites. We prepared for that. There were some hiccups in Justin's transit, as he noted, so we're going to be combining episode 2 with episode 3, episode 3 being Master of Rom-Coms, There's Something About Mary, Heartbreak Kid, and Along Came Polly. So we're going to be combining those 2 episodes into one episode we're going to call Summer of Stiller.
Summary of Stiller.
There we go. Summary of Stiller. That's my favorite thing to do in these episodes, is just come up with the title in the moment.
Yeah.
It's a good one. There you go. Summary of Stiller. Possibly something better if we can come up with it. Might be different when you see it, but for now we'll call it that. And we're going to, I imagine we're going to be kind of going a little fast through those directed by Stiller movies, since it's been so long since we've seen them. But We're going to, at the very least, you know that we're going to give you your due and let you know what we thought of it, and whether you might want to see it or not.
True.
So
got the ratings up.
You do. All right. So let's just start. Okay, well, Justin, what did you think of the last time we did a no spoiler section? I'm not sure if we should do that this time with it seemed kind of
spoilers for Reality Bites.
Yeah, literally. We only did it because we thought that maybe some people preferred it that way based on the poll that we did. But I think that was meant more for like newer movies. Or like
probably.
You know, yeah. And it just seems kind of redundant at this point. So I'm gonna put the hammer down. I'm officially gonna say, guys, spoilers are ahead. All right, you're not getting, you know, if you haven't watched Reality Bites by now, you're probably not going to.
I mean, if you haven't and you needed a reason and this episode wasn't enough of a reason,
exactly.
What are you waiting for?
Exactly. You know how we do it. So we're just gonna jump in. So let's start with an all-encompassing discussion, and we're gonna, of course, starting with The Cable Guy, directed by Ben Stiller, released in 1996. This one is
Do we want to start with that one, or do we want to start with Reality Bites, which was directed before it?
okay. Yeah, you're right. I got that a little mixed up. What year was that? I think that was
It's 94.
94. Okay, yeah, you're right. We should start with that. I got it mixed up. So,
So we see the
Reality
evolution.
Bites. Yeah, exactly. Reality Bites, 1994, directed by Ben Stiller, starring Ethan Hawke, Winona Ryder, Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo, and so many others. So this is, you know, I think many people, when they think of Ben Stiller, they think of rom-coms, kind of being his trademark in his peak. So it's interesting that he, before all those iconic movies, you go up to anyone on the street, hey, what movie do you remember Ben Stiller from? They're going to say Meet the Parents. They're going to say Along Came Polly, maybe, depending on what generation they're from. So it's
There's
interesting.
something about Mary. Classic.
Exactly. That's probably the biggest one, actually. So it's interesting to see how his first foray as a director into the craft that he would pride himself by as an actor, So, and I think I've read a lot of mixed things about this. I think I've heard from other people who've seen the movie, friends who also have mixed opinions. But I guess we can just jump in and talk about it. Is there anything you wanted to start with, or thoughts you wanted to get out of the way?
No, let's just go straight into it, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, Reality Bites, we have the main character, Winona Ryder. She is fresh out of college. She's an aspiring videographer. She's making a documentary of her life, living with her friends, side characters actors I listed, and they're all just kind of trying to make their way in the world, and it especially kind of exemplifies what at the time was the stereotype of the choices made by this generation, the so-called Generation X, and this was kind of felt like a critique of that critique against that generation. So, and of course, there's the love triangle between Ben Stiller, Ethan Hawke, and Winona Ryder. Ben Stiller playing very funnily, I think, a lot of the time, the working stiff. More of an asshole, one of Ben Stiller's more asshole-ish characters. I guess that's debatable.
Interesting. I wouldn't have
In
even
some
thought
parts of
that,
the movie.
honestly.
In some parts of the movie, I think. Not that I'm siding with Ethan Hawke's character, who I think is a total piece of shit.
Dude, Ethan Hawke sucks in this movie. I mean, he's a good actor. Plays the
He's a
role
great
very
actor.
well. Dude. I mean,
No.
We can when we go over the storyline, we can address him more fully, or at least what I have to say about him more directly relates to the actual events of the movie.
Yeah. So I guess, to get specific, Winona Ryder's character is the valedictorian of her class. She graduates again. Like I said, it kind of starts like in the middle of just a very general struggle post college, and of course she meets Ben Stiller's character because she throws a lit cigarette into his open top convertible, leading to him crashing his car, and they meet and they start dating. He's an executive at a basically MTV parody sort of channel, and he sees that she tells him about the documentary, and he decides that he wants to shop it out. Now, on the other side of this, you have Ethan Hawke's character, whose name I'm blanking on, who is very much, I don't even know how to describe his character, or
he's like a
burnout, kind of, sort of, like a stereotypical burnout.
I was gonna say kind of like a nihilist.
Exactly, that's the word.
Like, he's just. What does he have a job in this movie? I can't remember. I feel like he just sits around and like judges people.
Mopes. Yeah.
he always has like what he thinks are like really philosophical like witticisms and like sentiments towards stuff, and it's always just like, dude, unironically, just like chill out. Like, what is your dude? Anyway,
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's he's a piece of. He's essentially like the antithesis of Ben Stiller's character, which
Yeah.
obviously is the whole point.
Right.
But
Yeah, and I mean,
he,
I feel like to defend what I said in the beginning, what I was going by is I feel like in the beginning of the movie, I was kind of set up to look at Ben Stiller's character as more of an asshole. But the more and more I got to know and explore Ethan Hawke's character, the more I realized that he's just a pretentious like piece of shit most of the time.
no, yeah,
Who,
he's like a loser who thinks he's better than everyone else. Either he doesn't do
yeah,
shit.
I mean, you feel bad for him because his dad is dying / dead. Right? Isn't that the big thing in this movie?
Dude, something about his dad. Dude, I haven't seen his movie since like June.
So his dad is dying,
Okay.
but also his dad like is an asshole to him, which is
Right.
the cycle.
No,
that
true. I do
through.
remember that actually.
Yeah.
Classic.
And at the same time, of course, you have the side characters. Her roommate, his name is Vicky, played by Janine Garofalo, who is Ben Stiller alum. She's been in a lot of Ben Stiller projects and was in the Ben Stiller Show, a great show
Like
that
the
I
cable
wanted to
guy.
do an episode on. Yeah, also the cable guy. But yeah, so she's also has her not side plot, but she's kind of the what's the word? I don't know, but I don't know if there's a word for it. But she sleeps with a lot of guys, and she thinks she might.
I don't know if
have
there's a word
AIDS.
for that.
All right. I mean, I don't know if there's a word I want to say. Oh God. I feel like if it seems like we're floundering on this movie, I think that pretty much says more about the movie than us. I think that you should take it that way, and not that.
That's how you should take it, please. No, I think there is something to be said in that regard. Honestly, I feel like it kind of was like it felt a little flat for me. Honestly,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like there should have been more about that or nothing about that. You know what I mean? It just felt like kind of like thrown in, and Ben Stiller, I don't believe wrote the movie. I think he just directed it. But let me double check that. Yeah, he was written by someone else named Helen Childress. So, as far as the writing, it did feel a little all over the place. I mean, how did you feel about the ending when she inevitably ends up with Ethan Hawke's character? I wasn't a big
I thought
fan,
it was
but
unsatisfying and a
it
little
really was.
surprising. It was like, is this supposed to be like a like an ending where you're like, it's like that's life. It's not always the
Yeah.
happy ending, which I guess, okay, sure. It also on that topic, I feel like when I went into it also, I thought it was reality bites, like reality sucks, which is kind of like a theme in the whole
That's
movie,
what I
right?
thought too. Which I
It's
think it
just
is. It's
like,
supposed to be double entendre, right?
I don't know about the double part. Might do. All I know is that it's at least supposed to be like reality bites, like bites of reality,
Right.
like a play on like sound bites, right? Because that's the whole point of her documentary.
Right.
Which
the name of
the documentary she's making is called Reality Bites. Anyway, it's like Ben Stiller had such a satisfying or unsatisfying ending. Like he just like gets ditched by her at the bar where Ethan Hawke's playing, and that was his last scene, which also I wasn't expecting. I thought he was going to be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, it wasn't really my fault," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're dope," and Ethan Hawke sucks. But I guess the whole point is that their relationship's complicated, and even though he's an asshole, she's known him all this time, so she likes him. And
Except in the beginning, I feel like there was no like romantic tension between them until this. I noted this down to. I don't have the note with me, but there's a scene about maybe almost halfway through the movie, probably a little less, maybe like 35-40%, where her and Ethan Hawke are like talking outside in downtown, whatever city this is supposed to be, whatever.
when they're like walking past the fountain.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like at that point the movie took a turn for me because at that point it kind of tried to start, at least to me, force this romantic conflict between her and Ethan Hawke. And after that, I felt like the setting and feel and ecosystem of the movie just felt off. Because up to that point, I was like, okay, I can vibe with this. These group of friends, they're all going through different things. It seems like a good statement, or interesting statement, that is, on Generation X and not wanting to work after high school and all the stuff that they've been presenting. And then at that point, it just kind of took a turn into this, okay, now it's a love triangle. And Ethan Hawke is philosophical, but messed up because of his child. You know what I mean? It's all this stuff that I wasn't really, felt kind of affronted by after a third of the movie going by and not really seeing much of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Especially because at the beginning, it seemed like there was very intentionally not a romantic build-up between them.
It felt like reality
all.
bites, like bites of reality, exactly what you said.
Yeah. Or maybe I'm like analyzing this more than it actually is.
Right.
And maybe it is just like supposed to be like unsatisfying, but it kind of felt like they were trying to do it where like Ethan Hawke has like cons, but also has positive side. And the same with Ben Stiller's. He's like, oh, Ben Stiller's like nice and cool, but he's also like a business guy and all he cares about is money. And like, but it really did not come off as that. It came off as like Ben Stiller just being like a cooler guy and Ethan Hawke sucking.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say is it really felt like from the beginning they were setting it up. It felt like you were supposed to hate Ben Stiller's character throughout. But like I said before, as it went on, I just was like, he kind of has a point. Why are you guys arguing with that?
Yeah.
Like at the end, there's this, they show like, I think 2 or 3 times Ben Stiller like trying to pick a fight with Ethan Hawke's character because he comes in and says something like asshole-ish. He's like, what's your problem, man? And I think they intended where it's supposed to be like, man, why is Ben Stiller being a jerk to Ethan Hawke? But I'm like, he's done nothing wrong.
Yes, literally.
Like, why are they trying to make him the villain towards the end here? And I swear this is not Ben Stiller bias. I'm fine with Ben Stiller being a villain. It's a movie.
I do Dodgeball. He does it so well.
Exactly. Dodgeball. Even arguably...
He's an asshole in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, but also... sorry, I get mixed up. Heartbreak Kid. I feel like it's arguable that it's some... Yeah.
Dude, he's such a shithead in Heartbreak Kid.
Right. Which is, we'll talk about later. It's a whole discussion about the movie.
Right.
Which is kind of genius the more I've thought about it. But, yeah. I don't really... This movie, I felt like had a lot of potential, again, in that first third. And I really wish it just stuck with it because the directing by Ben Stiller is obviously pretty good. Good shots. I like the 90s style.
Dude, yeah, it feels so 90s, like tangibly.
Yeah, exactly. He did a really good job capturing that and preserving that. And yeah, I mean, as far as should people watch Reality Bites, what do you think?
I probably wouldn't recommend it to the average. Like, if I'm like just like talking to like someone who's just like they like, like the normal. Like I could recommend it to someone who's like interested in like obscure esoteric movies that are kind of like not similar to anything else I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'd be like, just for the experience, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would just like
everyday person, yeah.
Yeah, probably not a casual recommendation.
I'd probably be like, if it's on Netflix and you've got literally nothing else to watch, it's probably better than rewatching something, unless you're rewatching a whole lot of other Ben Stiller movies, of which there are so many better ones. So
yeah,
maybe I guess I'm saying don't watch this. I don't know.
Bro, can we talk about how
thoughts?
Ethan Hawke is the Joker, where he's like invited to sleep on their couch again because he sucks, and he sucks for having no place to stay. Anyway, he's crashing on their couch. Winona Ryder, who up until this point, it's been made very clear that there is no like romantic relationship between her and Ethan Hawke. They're just friends. She goes on a date with Ben Stiller and comes back late to her own fucking house, and he's like awake on the couch.
In a chair with the light open.
Yeah, he turns on the light. He's like, "Where were you?" And she's like, "Dickhead."
He also saw them fucking, didn't he? He saw them fucking before that.
That's why he decided to like stay up and wait, because they were having sex in Ben Stiller's car, which obviously they're adults.
Move Ben Stiller. Like.
True. Yeah, no, Ben Stiller went hard in the paint in the sheets in the back of the car in that movie.
I'd say Ben Stiller just overall living the life. I mean, he has a very successful job. He's clearly doing well for himself financially. And he seems to, he laid down all the moves the way he should have. It's not his fault that Ethan Hawke had to come in and fuck it up.
Yeah, the fact that Ethan Hawke was successfully able to steal Winona Ryder behaving the way he did means Ben Stiller definitely dodged a
Oh,
bullet in that movie.
And it was also so infuriating at the end. I don't have an exact quote, but he spits some stupid nihilistic, like philosophical shit when he's standing outside her, like the classic end of the movie, stand outside the girl's door, give a speech, and then kiss, and then movie ends. He says something stupid where he's like, "Well, life means nothing, but maybe it means nothing because being with you means nothing." You know, he does like that shit. I'm like, oh my god, I hate this. I hated the end of the movie so much. And,
I'm trying to find
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but just
Dude, the fucking URL for this, I looked up Reality Bites transcript. The first thing I click on, scriptorama.com. It's scriptorama.com/movie scripts/r/reality bites script transcript Stiller.
They had to add the Stiller in because you still didn't know what movie it was.
True.
That's good. I mean, case in point, I don't know if I would have watched this movie, Summer of podcast otherwise if Stiller wasn't in it. You know, it was just like, its claim to fame is being directed by Ben Stiller. I feel like,
dude, I hadn't even heard of it before we're doing research for the Summer of Stiller.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither. But yeah, I don't really know how much more there is to say about this. Any luck there?
Well, I see him say, "Fuck the world."
Yeah, I think that was probably. I'm probably exaggerating how long it was in my mind, but when he said like shit like that at the end, it was like,
yeah, no, it's so cringe. It's like trying way too hard.
Yeah, and I also
know
feel
that's
like
his character.
Exactly, but here's the thing: if they wanted that to be his character, I think there would be a better way to write it, where it's not so like. I don't know. Maybe it's a product of the times, like '90s stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that. I watched a video, I think in philosophy class in high school, about like how Hollywood over emphasizes and by doing that misrepresents the work of like Nietzsche. There's a lot of movies where it's like, well, you know, Nietzsche said, and it's like, first of all, that's not how it's pronounced, whatever. But also they just like totally like don't represent his views. Just make it like their entire like their entire summary of philosophy or Nietzsche is life sucks and like exactly what Ethan Hawke's character is. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, again, I don't know if that's a product of the times through the writer or there's infinite ways to make this better, I guess. So there's no point.
There's infinite ways to make this better. Yeah, it sounds like a not watch from the Filmatic crew.
Now that the more we discuss it, yeah, I guess if you're gonna watch it, watch like the first like 45 minutes and then just stop. I guess.
Yeah, that'll be more satisfying.
Was entertaining, I have to say, as a relic of the '90s. So
true, dude. I will say the MTV-ified like version of her documentary was so fucking terrible, dude. It was hilarious. It was like YouTube poop tier.
It wasn't even like anything. I guess I wasn't around, but I feel like it's not anything you would see on MTV anyway. It was just literally a YouTube poop. Like,
dude, yeah, I have no idea. I never saw a second of MTV in my entire life.
Yeah. So you heard it here first, guys. Reality Bites. How are we grading an F? 0 out of 10. What are we?
Dude, I give it like a 4, maybe a 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah, 3.5 sounds about right. I'd agree. So yeah, there you go. Reality Bites. 23 minutes. That's a record for a movie discussion, I think.
Well, we got it at this point.
Yeah, we really do. It's pretty late right now.
The
cable guy. Now, this one, I feel like a lot more potential for ripe discussion because I think it's such an interesting movie and phenomenon that it had. So, for those who don't know, Cable Guy, directed by Ben Stiller in 1996, starring Jim Carrey, fresh off the heels of some of the most iconic Carrey movies of all time, including, at the very least, I remember Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. So, Carrey has done these very successful movies that have turned him into a household name as a comedy. Yeah, go ahead.
And The Mask.
There you go, and The Mask. Which sounds funny, but it was very successful at the time. And all these movies were huge critical commercial success for him. He had the power to do whatever he wanted next, and he took a risk by doing this movie. Because what this movie did, and not just opinion based, but based on things that Stiller and Carrey have said in interviews and following it, subverted the expectations of the audience by taking a Jim Carrey comedy and turning it into a black comedy / some would even described on IMDb, a psychological thriller film. I don't know if it really feels like a mix of all those things, I would say, but I don't know, it's just
a monster movie.
It is a monster movie, dude. The scene where Matthew Broderick's dreaming and he's running up to the door with the green eyes.
True.
Both scary and funny, I think. I don't know. What were your thoughts about? Did any of that ring with you, or do you have a different take on Cable Guy?
Oh, I mean, when we were gonna watch it back, months ago, we were with Jonathan and his girlfriend, and she hates Jim Carrey. And she was like, I don't want to watch like a Jim Carrey being stupid movie. And we're like, this is kind of not that, Yeah. Like if you're gonna choose a Jim Carrey movie where he's the least, I mean, he still has his Jim Carrey-isms, to be sure.
Least stupid for stupid's sake, I would say.
Right, exactly.
The other Jim Carrey movies are that.
But ironically, we watched the trailer. No, true. Yeah, we watched the trailer.
Well, the trailer totally misrepresents it. Yeah.
No, it only shows the most Jim Carrey being stupid scenes, and that's it. Yeah. And so she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to watch this," and we're like, "That's not what the movie's like." But
no, there's a whole Ben Stiller has a whole section. I think he was on the interview. I think it was Howard Stern, if I'm not mistaken, the video I watched, where he talks about how drastic the effects were of that trailer coming out, and people going in thinking it was that, or being disappointed that it wasn't that. So it's really interesting. Yeah.
That's funny. That's crazy. That's funny. Independently, the exact thing that happened, literally, just exactly the way he described it.
Yeah. I think the movie is, well, far from perfect, brilliant. I would have to say. And the
did
more
he write this one?
He did not. It was written by Lou Holtz Jr., who has written, I will tell you, Only This. Very interesting. I don't know who this is. But, no, it was only directed by Ben Stiller. So, I mean, where do we attack this from first?
Brief synopsis.
You want to give it a shot? Or should I? If you don't want to, it's fine. Just let me know.
Starts with Matthew Broderick getting dumped, right?
Yes.
By Leslie Mann.
Proposal.
Oh, of course. He's moving into a new apartment, and his buddy, Jack Black, obviously tells him, bribe the table, the table, bribe the cable guy, and he'll give you all the free channels or extra channels or whatever. To quote American Pie, the illegal channels. But anyway, he does it, and the cable guy happens to be Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey essentially latches onto this bribe as suddenly Matthew Broderick, first of all, is not only friends with him, which is just a given assumption on Jim Carrey's behalf, but also that now Matthew Broderick owes Jim Carrey something because he gave him this favor. And the movie essentially is like an increasingly ramping up spiral of Jim Carrey, acting more and more like an delirious madman who
Yeah.
has like a disturbing obsession with Matthew Broderick's character and like becoming, or I guess remaining in his eyes, his like best friend. He's constantly trying to hang out with Matthew Broderick and like doing fucked up things that he believes are like acts of friendship or something. And at points, he's actually like does help Matthew Broderick. He like gets him back together with Leslie Mann
Yeah, by giving her
temporarily.
free cable, right?
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's from Matthew Broderick.
Well, also,
That's what his
sorry, I want to
character
mention.
says.
Yeah, it's from Matthew Broderick. Like that, our impression of anybody, anytime is the Joker.
Yeah, well, if they're acting like the Joker.
Oh yeah, of course. So he, in that scene where he's giving her the free cable, I wrote this down. He mentions, he has a funny quote where he's like talking about, do you know who he's talking about when he mentions bungee jumping in Mexico? Someone died doing it.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but the quote I wrote down is when he's like, "Promise me you'll never go bungee jumping in Mexico. They just don't have the regulations." I thought that was a hilarious quote. I don't know.
funny.
He was basically just trying to scare her into getting back together with Matthew Broderick because life is
True.
fleeting was the point. I just wanted to mention that. But if I can pick back up if you want. So
Oh yeah, please.
he reunites Chip with Robin, and after doing so, when Matthew Broderick is still not reciprocating his friendship, he sets out on a series of revenge kind of acts. He gets him arrested and
Fired.
Fired, further just mocking him, and then he attends dinner with his family, which is a pretty funny scene.
Oh, dude. I was just gonna say, back when he was helping Matthew Broderick, before he got him back together with Leslie Mann's character, Leslie Mann's going on a date with Olsen.
Oh my god.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, Jim Carrey just beats up Owen Wilson, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, he actually kicks the shit out of him in the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
No, go.
Go ahead.
I was
just gonna say before I forget, when I watched it, because when I watched it, we were fresh off the Meet the Parents stuff. I was thinking this is basically Owen Wilson's character from Meet the Parents trilogy, but not stupid. Just a full like conceptualized, like totally aware asshole. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
No, yeah, he was very funny.
Version. Yeah.
The whole movie, the story between Matthew Broderick and Jim Carrey's character is kind of like almost paralleled by this like not even subplot, just kind of like background noise of like a murder trial, fictional murder trial happening on TV that we see on people's TVs slowly throughout the story. And I guess the parallel is, I guess, just like the increasing intensity of it that's like going on, and the trial is like mounting to its like, I guess, to the verdict.
Well, it's also a direct parody of the OJ case, which happened like
Obviously.
a year or two before this movie came out. So
right, it's isn't it like Sam Sweet or something?
Yeah, Sam's played by Ben Stiller, of course.
Right, Ben Stiller plays twins who were like former child actors, and then one of them was murdered, and they blame the other twin. And it's just like this like trial happening, and everyone's obviously upset. The eyes were watching Sam Sweet in America in this universe.
Right, which I think it starts more as like a comedy for people in the audience to be like, "Hey, it's Ben Stiller. It's a funny cameo." And I think later on it becomes adds more to the philosophical sort of point of the movie at the end. Debatable, but about like TVs and attention spans and that sort of thing.
True.
Would be my guess as to the point of it.
I can see that.
Yeah. So he has the dinner party with him, gets him fired, and then they find out
porno password with his parents.
Yes.
And fucking what's his name? Shit. Dude.
Who are you thinking of?
Dude, the fact that I have to look this up is embarrassing.
I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about, so it's probably just as embarrassing.
Jesus, Bob Odenkirk, obviously.
Oh yeah, he's in this.
He plays Matthew Broderick's brother.
Yeah, Jesus, I forgot about that. He
And he
doesn't
just
have a
has,
lot
like,
of lines. Yeah.
maybe one or two. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, because
We're
Matthew
like, come
Broderick
on!
punches.
Like,
Yeah, he like punches Jim Carrey in the face, but everyone loves him. Like Jim Carrey's
Yeah.
character is like beloved by Matthew Broderick's entire family.
yeah. Also, Jim Carrey's voice just makes everything funnier in this movie. The lisp he has,
Sure.
it just adds to the comedy and bewilderment of it. So, so after he takes revenge on Matthew Broderick, Jack Black investigates him, finds out that he was fired for stalking customers and using names of characters as aliases. Chip isn't even his real name, and then I guess Jim Carrey threatens Matthew Broderick and telling him he's gonna pay Robin a visit. At which point, he takes Robin to the dish that he showed Matthew Broderick at the beginning of the movie, and is holding Robin hostage, which leads to this crazy ending where there's like a standoff between them and the police, and Chip tries to kill himself by landing on the satellite dish. He survives, but he does knock out the television signal for everybody in the city right when the verdict of the Sam Sweet trial is going to happen. And he leaves him. The last shot is him in the rescue helicopter being airlifted away, and one of the paramedics calls him buddy, and he's like, am I really your buddy? And he's like, yeah, sure you are, man, sure you are. And then he kind of alludes to the cycle restarting with another person. True. So yeah, that's the quick plot to this movie. Another set piece that, of course, we skipped over was the night sequence where they're in
Of course, medieval times.
Possibly the best sequence of the movie.
And what's her name makes a recurrence as a cameo.
Janine Garofalo, yeah, is back.
As a waitress.
It's just, yeah, it's crazy how it starts off and it's giving me everything I want as far as like Jim Carrey doing comedy, and I'm like, man, this is funny, this is funny, this is funny. And the more it goes on, it's still funny, but I'm like, wow, this is kind of insane. You know what I mean? Like, it's retains the comedy, but also adds the black thrillerness of it. So
yeah, it'd be fucking terrible to be Matthew Broderick in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, what else is
but
there?
Jim Carrey's cover of Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane.
Yes, dude, that was stuck in my head for a few days after that.
It's classic.
And not the normal version, the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah. Dude, that party looked so jank.
Yeah, and then he hires a hooker with Chip.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a word for that.
Come on. I got to hear the end of that.
It's like he's like, yeah. Oh, I gotta throw a housewarming party, but I don't know anybody. And Chip's like, oh, I can fix that. And he hires he's got like the most absurd, terrible looking crowd of people to fill his apartment, and there's just like one young woman, and it's like Matthew Broderick doesn't see anything wrong with that.
Which I didn't even see anything wrong with it until you said that. So. I didn't think about that part in the hindsight of it.
Jack Black had the right idea. He just bounced the fuck out of there. He's like, man, this party's Joker. And then he just left.
Also, of course, the basketball scene. Just thinking of set pieces that are...
classes.
Where he's like, hold on, I don't want to stretch a hammy. And then he does his like warm-up between the lines going... Yeah, it was good. True. I think that's the... Yeah, no. I mean, that's still kind of in the beginning of the movie where it's like, oh, this guy's just like funny. But yeah, I mean, I feel like people should definitely see this movie because I think it's highly underrated. I think if you're going into it knowing what you're getting into, you won't be disappointed. I really feel like the only reason it was ever controversial seemed to be that it was marketed as a movie a la The Mask or Dumb and Dumber or whatnot.
Right, people weren't used to it, or they weren't ready for it. Okay, they
well,
didn't know what they're getting into.
Well, there really weren't. I mean, kind of similar to Something About Mary with gross comedy rom-coms. There wasn't really many things like it at the time. So for this to be a black comedy, quote unquote, psychological thriller, no matter to what degree, I can't really think of anything that was like that pre, 2000s. So,
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts you want to add?
No, but I would give it a definite recommendation.
Yep.
Should we do the rating? I was gonna say we didn't even rate the other one.
Yeah, we gave it a.
Oh yeah, we did 3.5.
3.5.
So we both give it a 3.5.
This no.
No.
Talking about
obviously.
Yeah, yes, we both gave it the last.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, cable guy.
Are you writing these down?
Yeah. I have the ones from the
parents ones?
Yeah.
Okay, because at the end we're gonna do like a Summer of Stiller ranked thing.
That would actually be the summary of Stiller.
That would, yeah. I guess we should come up with a better name for this.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Right.
Think of S words. Yeah. So rating for this. We're back to the predicament where I have to remember we're rating it in the context of Stillers and not just movies.
Right. True.
Because that was our problem with the parents.
Dude, Reality Bites. Do you remember we were like, what's going to be worse than Little Fockers? It was Reality Bites, and we didn't realize.
Yeah, no, I would much rather rewatch Little Fockers than Reality Bites.
Dude, Little Fockers had some literal laugh out loud moments.
Yeah, no. This is Jack Burns. Do you have what we gave Little Fockers written down?
Yeah, we gave it a 5. We both gave it a 5.
Okay, that's good at least. So right now, Reality Bites is the lowest rated.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's good. I
can't imagine it going any lower. Any other movies on the list? I think there's not that many left that I haven't seen, honestly.
We have Night at the Museums, Zoolander, Starsky and Hutch, Dodgeball, Mystery Men, Tropic Thunder, The Watch I haven't seen, Madagascar, Meyerowitz, Greenberg, Walter Mitty, Elmo's Christmas Countdown. I mean,
okay, haven't seen the Elmo thing. I haven't seen Meyerowitz or Greenberg.
I could only see The Watch getting lower just because I haven't seen it yet and I haven't heard of it.
I remember thinking it was very funny, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
I also, what was I gonna say? I haven't seen the third Madagascar or the third Night at the Museum.
Okay, the third Night at the Museum I remember being pretty funny. The third Madagascar, I don't know if it's Reality Bites bad, but I remember not being too pleased.
Well, I mean, right off of Escape to Africa, I mean, it would have to be so good to not be like, but it is Noah Baumbach, which is absurdly funny to me.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking maybe it's just childhood brain, just not liking it because of the Afro Circus song tier.
So true. Is that the intro for the Madagascar episode?
Us doing that song?
Just kidding. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Oof. That would be worse for your reputation than you peddling crypto on Instagram.
Oh my god. Can I use this as a platform to just say, dude, this fucking guy hacked my account. I don't understand why he's using my account if he's not even pretending to be me anymore. He's just like posting pictures of this random guy. It's like, move to Texas, #rich. New toy, #hustle. It's like a fucking, dude. Oh, it's so cringe. Well, it's like he chose the most cringe mindset.
Picture.
Did he?
Yes.
I mean, about time. He's not even posting pictures of.
And he changed. Oh, there's some things I haven't seen here.
Okay, the sad part is he changed my bio, which used to be the pauper of the surf.
Yeah. And now your bio is God first.
God first.
24/7 online assistant. over 2 million profit made weekly. 100%
24/7
guaranteed.
online assistant. What is this guy fucking like AT&T? Dude, what? That's not a... Okay. That's like what Octavio was doing at like Xbox or something.
Yeah, no, he's just pretending to be. I mean, maybe this is him, but just a middle-aged Mexican guy. I'll have to send you the picture after this.
It can't be him, right? It can't actually be him.
No, he's not gonna post himself on an account he hacked, but
I mean, you've messaged him, and he
Yeah, so
speaks the worst English. Like, and like, dude, his answer for yeah.
So
what
he
was
said,
what was your girlfriend's name again?
me-
Favi is Favi.
so yeah, I obviously knew this wasn't Justin, and I told Justin about it, and I was like, okay, I want to see, how this guy reacts to me asking information that he wouldn't know. So first of all, by the way, before this, he posted stuff where he's like, yeah, my sister was in town. And I'm like, and I commented, I'm like, man, Justin, you never talked about your sister. To meet her. Anyway, so I said, how's your family? Because so when I commented that, he replied, DM me for money tricks and tips or something. And I was like, hey, how's your family, Justin? And what cool tips do you have for me? And he said, yeah, I got good earnings from trading. Are you a fan of crypto? And I said, bro,
Do
come on,
Shrek
you know me.
voice.
I said,
Oh,
bro,
donkey, are you a fan of crypto?
you got them. So I said, I just remember you told me you hated crypto and you would never do it, which is, I'm surprised. And he said, yeah, bro, I know, but the earnings are great with crypto. I never wanted to try, but when I tried, it was mind blow. I said, really? He said, yes, for real though, crypto is down, but we trade to earn every day. I can tell earnings are really great. I said, I may be interested, but seriously, how's your life? What was your girlfriend's name again? He said, she's okay, whole family doing fine. I already moved on with life, and life is going really well with me lately. Oh, what's up with you? How you earn living currently? I said, wait, you really moved on? Your roommate told me you and her were going on a vacation, like yesterday. What was her name? Favi.
Dude.
Favy. And then he says, yeah. And then he just says, he said, Favi, I moved on with crypto life. And then that was it.
I've already moved on. Like he's moved on from
Girlfriend to crypto.
Favi. You just chose like syllables that sounded like a name.
Yeah, he couldn't have chose like Emily, like Sophie, like as many like God, Jesus, this is stupid.
Just a normal name. Maybe wherever he's from.
Guys, yeah, maybe that's a common name. Well, guys, if you're out there, by the way, you now have 10K followers.
Oh, I heard, which is hilarious. The real play would be to try and get my account back.
I
and just have like 10,000 bot followers.
Well, even his posts are getting 1,000, 1,200 likes. Yeah, this was dude, the latest post was, just reporting his crypto earnings and like tips with a bunch of hashtags like that. And then it says liked by 1,199 people, and
dude. Okay, I think he actually believes this is me.
No, you could literally DM him yourself and like just pretend, and he'd be like, "How'd you do it, man?" Like,
I feel like he's just too like trusting. He's just like he just takes everything so earnestly. I feel like.
Man, this guy has a lot of pictures of himself now.
Oh, dude, and it's all like shit quality, blurry pictures too.
Yeah. Oh, God, who knows? And then you go down. I think there are not many posts that he deleted a lot of yours, but left a few.
I think he deleted. Oh, did he leave any of mine?
He left the one of you in front of a waterfall that says, "It's water. We are water. Pure as water."
He kept the one where it's like visibly not me. It could be anyone.
Yeah. And then other one he left is the dim lit room has seen much before me.
Interesting choice.
Those are the only two I can see that are still here.
Damn. Oh well.
So, guys, to finish this off, if you're out there, please report at the Fish King FX on Instagram. It's not Justin. We're gonna be working on getting that back soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which I think, like I told you, I think there might be a way for you to do it, but
Yeah, potentially. We'll see. Yeah. No. Anyway.
how
There's
do
a
we
little
even
story
start?
time. I actually have no memory.
That's awkward. Cable guy
Okay,
ratings?
moving on to.
Probably about ratings,
Oh,
right?
yeah, we were talking about ratings.
Let's just rate Cable Guy. Little Fockers is a 5.
Little Fockers is a 5. Meet the Parents, you gave an 8.5. Meet the Fockers, you gave a 7.
Yeah. This has to be. This is as good as Little Focker. Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
Possibly better the more I think about it. I might have to say 7.5.
Word. I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
Which is a 0.5 upgrade from Meet the Fockers for me.
Yeah, so mine's also a 0.5. So yeah, 7.5.
True.
Good shit.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Justin and Nabeel from part 1. Thanks for listening. But be prepared to check out part 2.
Oh, definitely. Let's do it.
You should just use that.
What you just said.
Yeah.
With you out of frame.
Could you not see me?